Welcome to Mobe Survivor. The whole point of today, you know the scenario. We're taking our very top earners in Mobe, people who have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some of them in this room are about to cross $1 million in commissions with the exact same business that you all have. And what we're doing is we are giving them a hypothetical scenario. We're dropping them in the desert with a laptop, with no phone, okay? And we're taking away all of their assets. We're taking away their list, all of their guru friends. We're taking away every advantage that they would have with where they are right now. And we're asking them to start from scratch with only one thing, and that's their experience. And they have to generate $10,000 in 10 days, or no one's coming to pick them up, and they're dead. You think that sounds pretty challenging? All right, well, we've got about 8 speakers, guys, and like I said, these are the top earners, so I'm curious as to what they come up with. Expect to have a whole bunch of different approaches. Make sure you take a lot of notes. Okay, so I want to bring up our first speaker. Our first speaker flew all the way in from Australia, like me. He's actually on the Mobe phone sales team. He's been in the industry for about 5 years. He actually got started in the same company as me. He's one of our top earners, very disciplined guy, one of our top earners, definitely. I want you to welcome to the stage, Drew Innes.
Obviously, this is a sort of an analogy, a metaphor for what's going on. We've been dropped in the desert, so hopefully I've got half an hour, I think, with you. So by the time I finish up here today, I'm hoping that I've given you a strategy that you can apply immediately for zero to no cost. And if you're disciplined, you'll be able to scale it up with more targeted paid traffic. So survive or thrive online, 10Ks in 10 days. Now, preface this by saying this is based on the assumption that we're platinum members, so we've already got leverage, right? You've got leverage over the business system, you're positioned, okay? And the other thing is that you've got to be a bit resourceful, and for this to work, you're going to have to get way out of your comfort zone, all right? Some of you will, some of you won't, and I'm looking for the ones that will, because there'll be an opportunity to join me on the phone team. Okay, so this strategy works, and it works killer. So who am I? Just Drew Innes, husband, father of 2, passionate snow skier, my family up the top, got my beautiful son Levi at the back who's joined me here. Actually, this is, just share with you a moment. When I got started 5 years ago in the same company as Matt, we obviously came to the equivalent to Titanium and Platinum Mastermind events. Levi's been to a number of events. He's sort of born into a home of entrepreneurs. He's walked on fire, broken arrows, done all of that sort of stuff, and I'm grooming him to become an online marketer. I sort of said to him, mate, you spend so much time on the Xbox and online. Come next year when you go to high school, I'm going to teach you how to start making money, so 5 years from now you can buy that car that you want for cash. All right? So if he just put 20% of the time that he spends playing games into making money, where will he be 5 years from now? Okay? Just food for thought. So, dedicated husband, father of 2. I'm a business owner and a coach, traditional background. I come from the construction industry, the finance industry. I've founded and funded 4 businesses. But without a doubt, the thing that I'm most passionate about is what we do right here. Helping other people make money online, and in the process get to spend a lot of quality time with family. This is a very, very powerful business model. And obviously top tier direct sales is my vehicle of choice for a number of reasons. So let's get started. How to make 10K in 10 days. The other thing that I'll preface by saying is we've got the vehicle, we know that. We're positioned at platinum, we've got the leverage. There's a rhythm to this business, and there's a pipeline. And I want you to understand the rhythm and the pipeline. And I don't make any rash decisions about my business in under 90 days. And when we move to the event format where we have 2 titanium, 2 platinum, you'll understand the importance of a 90-day rhythm, because your business will be built from event to event. So I want you to think about that also as we go along. So here we are, 10K, we've got to make 10Ks in 10 days, $10,000 of commissions in the pipeline that will pay out based on our payment terms. That's also one of my, I'm prefacing it by saying it's going to be difficult to get 10K in the bank when we pay out 14-day cycles, right? No list, no money, no business contacts. So what do we need to do? First things first, I always start with this. For me, I'm big on personal and professional development. This is 80–90% of it for me, because the business systems are around you. You can take the action, but first you've got to get this right. You've got to get clear about what your higher goals are here. Now, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, wow, here I am, I'm in the desert. What's my highest goal? Well, for me, it's to get back to my family, right? So literally, you've got to sort of think about what are you prepared to do to get so far out of your comfort zone to achieve whatever that higher goal is. So for me, it's family. Get clear about your immediate objectives. Okay, we've got a task to achieve here. We've got to make 10 grand in 10 days. So we can't subrogate the achievement of the higher goal to the immediate objectives, so they've got to be in alignment. You've got to think about that. You've got to acknowledge in advance there's going to be problems. This is the biggest issue a lot of people have. When they hit little roadblocks along the way, they give up. But if you sort of make a pre-commitment that you're not going to give up and acknowledge that there's going to be problems along the way, then you've already made that decision not to give up. That's a pre-commitment that you make to yourself. All right? So right up front, guys, let's get real. You're going to be building a business here. It's not going to be easy street. All right? There's going to be obstacles, but we're going to overcome them. Now, Matt mentioned you've got no assets. Beg to differ. This is an asset, right? Natural gifts and talents that you can leverage. But everyone has them, but most people aren't prepared to deploy them because they let fear and doubt get in the way. So you've got assets, you've got to recognise what they are, you've got to recognise what your strengths are. There's a couple of assets in this scenario. Your immediate asset is the fact that you're in this business system and you're positioned at platinum. Leverage is your greatest asset. Strengths, internal strengths, fortitude to get the job done. Okay? Leverage your assets and play to your strengths, particularly in this scenario. Think about what you actually would literally do if you're in the desert. Right? You'd have to stock take. You'd have to figure out what assets you had. The water bottle, the ability to capture condensation, to dig, to create shade, whatever it is. What are those sort of equivalent things in the business that you're going to have to deal with? You've got some assets, and play to your strengths always. Everyone in this room has a God-given strength that they should play to, right? I'm not a natural marketer, but I love speaking. So I'm going to play to my strength in this scenario. So I'm going to be talking about getting on the phone and making it happen. Who are usually the highest paid people in the world? Who? Phone salespeople. Phone salespeople. You get the best and the brightest in the room, 100 people, and I bet you they're the top 10 income earners, right? So that may be one thing that everyone here needs to think about. Not necessarily absolutely important, but in this scenario you'll see why. Lastly, you have to take massive action. We've got 10 days to do this. Procrastination cannot set in. You literally need to take this today and implement it tomorrow and see what happens 2 weeks from now. Okay? Massive action. Matt is an astounding example of this. So much so he drives us a little bit insane, because he'll think of an idea today and it'll be implemented tomorrow, literally, and the rest of us will be trying to play catch up. That's how you need to be with your business. You cannot let procrastination set in. So, what are the immediate needs in this scenario? Now, we need the right business model. Do you agree we've got the right business model? Who agrees with that? Yep. Okay. We need to be positioned for leverage as a platinum partner. Everyone in this room is a platinum partner in Mobe. Agreed? Yep. Okay. So we've met that need. We need the right offer, right? So we've got the right offer in Mobe, we know that. But we may need something over and above that, a bonus offer to entice people to perform at the speed that you need them to over the course of the next 10 days. Would you agree? If all of you had to assemble something that you could give away as a bonus offer to entice people on this journey with you over the next 9 to 10 days, do you think you could come up with something? Okay, we need a list. We've got to create one. I say we need a little bit of money. And in this scenario, I'm going to tell you exactly how much. Remember, we've got no money at this stage. We've got to get some. Now, we're not... Figuratively, we're in the desert. But actually what's happening is we're in the wasteland of our home office. And it can be a dark and desolate place. Trust me, I've been there. I can remember day 45, weeping like a baby, staring at my computer screen. And my wife came in and she said to me, "Drew, you better figure this out because you just put $42,000 into a business and that's not what I want to see. I want to see results. You need to get this sorted." Shut the door. It was all the motivation I needed. So we've got to find money. We need partners in this. How many of you think that if you had to, your child's life was on the line, your wife's life was on the line, something was on the line, how many of you in this room could maybe spend half a day to a day finding some people to work with you on a strategy and sharing the success of it? You may need 2 or 3 based on what your natural gift and talent is. Do you think you could do it through Facebook or some social media or some avenue that you had? Okay? And what you're looking for is a blend of the skills, preferably. Maybe someone that's good with some tech, setting up some things. Maybe someone that's okay on the phone. Maybe someone that can write some copy. Maybe you've got a bit of that in everyone. But you may need partners. Excuse me, because success is a team sport. And remember, this business, the income flows when you help other people achieve their goals. We can't lose sight of that. This is not about you, but certainly you have to focus on you at the moment for the next 10 days, because otherwise you're going to die in the desert. You're going to die in that wasteland of a home office. Okay, need to know the numbers. Traffic conversion and sales. We know the formula. Now, why are the numbers important? Because I just want to get clear on the strategy. Right? So I put this up here. You guys should know this. I shouldn't have to recite it. MTTB commissions, we know they pay out 1, 3 and 5. Industry average convert at 6 to 1. TTI commissions 1.2, 5 and 9. Right? Now, is it likely that you'll make 10 sales of $1,000 in 10 days and have money in the bank? Is it likely? I'd say probably unlikely, right? That's not the business model. You understand the business model? You understand that you're positioned with leverage, right? So you don't have to make $1,000 sales. So let's say MTTB converts at 1 in 8. I'm not suggesting it does, but for this scenario I'm saying that. You need 48 targeted MTTB leads, so less than 50. So would it be possible or even probable to get 6 MLR sales, 6,000, 2 titanium sales and come up with $12,000 in the pipeline commissions to be paid out? Now, that's not an improbable scenario. In fact, I see it happen every day, right? Or every week or every month. There's people in this room that do it repetitively. Okay, so I just want to get the numbers down. The average MLR sale here happens in 6.5 days, and then we've got to take someone through the pipeline to step 15 to do the business plan to talk about titanium and platinum. So the likelihood of having $10,000 in the pipeline within the 10 days is probably low in that scenario, maybe. All right? So what about TTI? All of you have TTI at your advantage, which is a sales funnel specifically set up for you to go to put in front of people that you already know. How many people in here know someone? Friends, family, whatever. How many people know people on social media? So again, wife's life is at stake, child's life is at stake. What could you do today and over the course of the next 10 days if you had to come up with 10 grand to put our offer, to put those people in front of the TTI sales funnel? Because that would be a more viable alternative in this scenario. That's probably one of the ones that I would focus on if I was going to focus on that at all. Okay? Or a combination of the two. That's highly probable. So, let me talk about the strategy. And everyone can do this. The reason why I know everyone can do this is even if you're a complete newbie with tech, you can go onto fiverr.com, and for $5 you can get a resource that will set up any component of this strategy, any component. Now I'm going to talk about where does the money come from, because Matt said we've got no money. I'll talk about that in a moment. So this is a 3-touch strategy that involves bulk email marketing, phone follow-up, live webinar. It's a strategy that you're going to run, rinse, repeat. You're going to tweak, test, and then once it's operating, you're going to outsource the whole thing and it's going to run in the background. Okay? You need a startup budget of your time, and for less than $500, which I'm again suggesting that if something was at stake here, like child's life, wife's life, or you had to get that 10 grand, rain, hail or shine, how many people in this room would be able to beg, borrow, steal or sell something to come up with $500 to deploy this strategy? Okay, so is it impossible for us to come up with a little bit of money to get the job done? Right, because we've got assets, we've got resources. You have the ability to pick up the phone and ask for help. You have the ability to find a partner that may be willing to come in with the $500 seed capital. All right, let's assume that that's done. This strategy can be scalable with better targeted traffic down the track. So this isn't a, geez, I've got to make 10 grand, I'm just going to go and do all of this work, thrash around in the pool, make my 10 grand and the job's done. You can actually get this set up, and then it could just be one of those things, that could be one of those staple type marketing strategies that underpins your business, that's just tucked away on the side, putting leads into your sales funnel. Because if it's done right and resourced right, at a slightly higher level, you'll have the income flow to completely outsource it to people that will cost you no more than $400 a month. Okay, and I can talk about that. Okay, so what's day one? Now I'm going to take you through the 10 days. This is specifically what you would do. Day one, goals, plan and action. Got to be clear about what you want. Remember guys, you don't have to worry about taking too many photos because you're going to have this presentation for you. So goals, plan and action. You've got to be clear about what you've got to do. Cash converters, borrow, beg, or get a JV partner off Facebook or some social media site to come up with your $500 seed capital. Right? Even if I was in the desert, I would be able to do that, because Matt said I've got the internet connection, so I'd be beavering away to get $500 on my debit or credit card. Okay? Set up bulk email marketing strategy. Now, you'll notice here I haven't put the names of any of the resources or the links. All right, because I wasn't sure what the rules of engagement were here. But what I will do is provide all of the resources for you. So if you want to deploy this strategy, you can go and set it up without paying affiliate, without someone getting an affiliate commission from it. And also remember, you're going to walk away from here today with a product. So maybe, just maybe, you don't want to give it all away up front. You want to actually have people come back and engage with you, and it could be part of a bonus upsell or something. All right, so I haven't put all of the resources here for you, but I can give them to you. Okay, so you're going to set up a bulk email marketing system, domain name hosting and a web-based bulk emailer. I can show you a resource for $20 a month. It'll send up to 20,000 emails a day. Okay? Set up raw lead data. Okay. I can show you a resource where you can get up to 200,000 email addresses, names, addresses, phone numbers, the whole shooting match, where as part of this one-off $200 deal and then $20 a month, you can have 2,000 buyer leads that are 14 days old, and you can have up to 200,000 home business money-making leads that just need to be rinsed, and I'll talk about how they're rinsed in a minute. Okay? So you need to set up the lead. I call it lead data. So don't think for a minute that that this is about buying leads and putting them into our quality funnel. This is about thinking about buying raw data, rinsing the data to create a lead to put into the sales funnel. All right? So just think about it from that perspective. Set up the autoresponder account. The reason why you want to do this is because we don't have a list, remember? That was one of the prerequisites. How do we make money? We've got to build a list. We've got to build a list to sell to, right? So under this bulk email strategy, the very first thing that we're going to be doing, and we're going to be doing it rapid fire, is actually building a list of names to market to. Okay, so you're going to need an autoresponder account, Aweber or equivalent, or try and find one for free on the internet that at least will allow you to get up and running and start capturing some leads. You need to set up a trial phone burner account. You can do that for free. Okay? Phone burner is a system where you can import phone numbers and it'll do the dialing for you. So if you really want to get good on the phone, I suggest for those of you that are serious about getting good on the phone, just do this. Get way out of your comfort zone. Get a free account from Phone Burner. Go and buy a couple of 100,000 leads. Put them into the system. That'll harden you up like there's no tomorrow. Within 2 or 3 weeks, you will be immune. Okay, seriously. And then when you're actually then starting to talk to quality people, everything will come oh so naturally. Okay, so set up a Phone Burner account for free. Set up Trial Go-To webinar account. I remember when I got started, I had 3 email addresses and 3 credit cards, and I got Go-To webinar for free for 3 months. And I used to hold webinars as often as I could, and didn't pay for the system for 3 months. And then when I could pay for the system, or wanted to pay for the system, I should say, away I went. So you've got to get resourceful here. So you can set that up for free. Again, you want to build a list. You want to rinse these people through a squeeze page. Okay, so as an alternative to lead pages, which is going to cost you $69 a month or whatever, for a one-off fee of $27, I think it is, you can get Funnel Kit, which does everything that Lead Pages does, and it's good enough for this strategy. So you're going to need that. You want to organise your bonus enticement offer. First and foremost, I'd look at what your natural gifts and talents were and whether you've got some collateral that's specific to you and create your own bonus offer. If not, I'd just run with I Am Revolution, just as an example, and then put people onto a free webinar, okay? And I know when Matt first got started, he used to do a lot of webinars, a lot of connecting with people through live webinars. And it was only once we got the format right that we went to recorded webinars. Okay, so you're going to need that. You are then going to need to write call scripts, including follow-up messages, and write webinar scripts, including slides. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you go and Google any of this, it'll come back to you. Like, it's amazing. Just go and Google phone script, or go and Google follow-up emails, or whatever. Like, you've got to be resourceful. And for people in this room, if we just sort of stretch the boundaries of the scenario, call the phone team. Hey, what's your script? What do you do at call 0? Okay, I'll give you one in 3 minutes. Okay, so you've got to get your scripts right. So day one, now apart from setting up a number of free accounts that are probably all but going to take you 10 minutes, right? So there's about 3 things that you had to set up. There's half an hour. All of the time on day one is now thinking about your collateral, your marketing collateral, the stuff that you're going to need to start building your list. And all of you have been around this long enough and you're getting enough information from Mob already to cut and paste and use your done for your emails, and everything is really there. At the pickup of a phone, like just reaching out and asking someone for help, you could get this job done easily. You could get the scripts, you could get the emails, you could get the help. And remember, Fiverr, for $5, you can get someone that can set all of this up for you. There'll be someone there that knows how to set up phone burner. There'll be someone there that knows how to set up Aweber. So maybe for $20 or $30 in little $5 bids, you could get all of this done for you without being techie at all. Day 2, set up phone burner scripts and messages. Test. Set up squeeze pages, autoresponder messages, use done for your emails. Format and upload data records, which are these sort of old leads, into the bulk emailer. Okay, it's about a half an hour job to format the information just to make sure it's in CSV, and you weed out all of the stuff that doesn't have an email address. It's again stuff that anyone can do, or get someone on Fiverr to do it for you. Format and upload data records, name and phone numbers into phone burner so you're set up. Now, the very first thing you do with any of these scalable strategies, you take a small sample and you test it all. You've got to do that on day 2. You've got to go and test that your phoning's working and that your emails are working. Okay? Day 3, scale up your activity. Send 4,500 leads and 500 buyer leads. Now, in this strategy, you again, comes down to what are you trying to achieve and what are you comfortable with. So for me, because I'm comfortable on the phone, and many of you probably would be if you had a script in front of you and you did it for a small test, 25 people, and then you're away, you may not use any of your 14-day-old buyer leads in the email sequence. You might use all of your 2,000 buyer leads phoning the people through phone burner. And you've got this, again, this is data, right? So I'm not suggesting you're sitting there and pushing buttons, hello, hello, hello. You've got to use this free system that'll just churn and burn. You'll be able to get through all of this in a day. Review your stats. What sort of response are you getting? Remember, Matt always talks about measuring everything that we do. Okay? So you need to measure everything here. How many calls you made, how many connections you got. The system does all of this for you, so you can actually track what progress you're making. If there's any little subtle adjustments along the way, you need to review the process, you need to tweak and improve. And this may be some of your scripts, it just may be the process in which you're doing things to get more efficiency into this. All right? I think about this, or Matt made mention that I'm disciplined. I am disciplined, and I always think about systems, a systemised approach to doing everything, right? Because to the extent that you can systematise everything that you do here, then you don't have to, you're going to have more, you're not going to spend all that time in your business, you're going to spend the time doing the things that you want to do, right? So in this scenario, if you get even 0.5% conversion on the 4,500 leads and 1% conversion on the 14-day-old buyer leads, you've just created 30 leads in the funnel. Does anyone disagree with my math? How many of you can generate 30 leads a day at the moment? Okay, there's a strategy that does it. Day 4, repeat activity. Send 4,500 leads, 500 buyer leads. Call 500 buyer leads with phone burner if possible. Review the stats, review, process, tweak, improve, etc. 0.5% to 1% conversion, there's another 30 leads. Right, now we're not talking about 30 leads over 30 days or 60 days. Literally, this can all be implemented within 2 or 3 days, and you can have leads coming into your sales funnel that quickly. Okay? Same conversions, another 30 leads. Look at what I'm doing now on day 4. I'm calling the new day 3 MTTB leads and welcoming them to the process. All right? We've got a script for that, don't we? Doesn't mean harassing them. It means, hey, great to have you on board. The more times you touch these people, the more engaged they're going to be. Okay? So here, this is not phone burner. This is smile and dial. There's 2, right? The first strategy is voluminous. There's no smiling. You're a machine. This one, smile and dial. Okay, day 5, repeat the activity and scale up. Now you can send 6,750, 750 buyer leads, right? Because you're going to probably see enough response there to know that things are working. And when things are working, and this is literally, I've done this, you just start scaling. Scale it up now. Because remember, for 20 bucks, I'm going to give you the name of a resource that'll send 20,000 emails a day. Okay? Review the stats, review the process, tweak and improve. Now you're up to 45 leads. Call new day 4 MTTB leads and welcome them to the sales funnel. Not literally, that's not the language, but you know what I mean. Repeat the activity, scale up again. Because I want to get to a point where I'm sending 10,000 leads a day. 10,000, I'm dealing with 10,000 records. That's essentially where I want to be. All right, call 1,000 buyer leads with phone burner if possible. At that point, if you're getting a high connection rate, you're just going to be capped out wherever it's going to cap you out. What I mean by that is you need to make a decision on how much time you want to spend on the phone. So for me, I do it in a 4-hour block, a 2-hour block and a 2-hour block. So I'll work an 8-hour day on the phone. I'm happy to do that when it's putting big chunks of money in my bank account, right? You've got to make 10 grand here in 10 days. So you might be thinking, gosh, do I really need to do that? Yes, you need to do it for a short period of time until you've scaled it up and outsourced it. So it's half of the room probably, well, maybe 80% of the room aren't even interested in this. I'm talking to the 20% that are, because they're the people that this strategy will work really well for. And remember, you're going to get 8 strategies here. Right, so this is for those people, and if you want to become one of the top phone salespeople, this is going to sharpen the axe like there's no tomorrow. Okay, call the new day 5 MTTB leads and welcome them. Now at this point, at day 6, I would host a live webinar for the leads generated between days 3 to 6. Potentially you've got 165 people at this point that you're inviting to that webinar. Even if you got a 10% conversion, you'd have 16 people on the webinar. You've just touched them again. Okay, how have you touched them? Email, phone, now a live webinar. Not a recorded webinar, a live webinar. Where would you get the script from? Get out of your comfort zone. Pretty simple. Matt's got one, I've got one. Make up one yourself. This is not a long webinar. This is a, hey, let me show you a way. Terry did it perfectly the last time we spoke. You did, actually. Don't overcomplicate this. How many people want to see a $49 money-back guarantee offer? Don't like what you see? No harm, no foul. We're not selling Rolls Royces here. We're just selling that $49 free money-back guarantee offer. I can't believe that you won't get 16 people on the webinar and that some of them might go, hey, I'm in for that. Okay, day 7, repeat activity. Now we're going. Now we're at our sort of, it's not even really critical mass, but it's a nice round number for me. You've got your buy leads happening, you're reviewing this, you're calling your day 5 leads. Day 8, you're doing the same thing. Day 9, you're doing the same thing, because this is a, what is it? This is a rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. All right, and every time I'm rinsing and repeating, I'm tweaking, I'm tweaking, I'm tweaking, I'm tweaking until I'm getting the right numbers for me. And at the point where you've got the right numbers, seriously, you can outsource this. Get a Filipino for less than $400 a month, and a virtual assistant will run this whole strategy for you. Okay? I know that for a fact. I used to have one for $300. Okay, so at this point, host another live webinar for the leads generated between days 7 and 10. Now you've got 240 potential people that you're inviting to a webinar. 10% conversions, you're going to have another 24 people on the webinar. Let's have a look now at the summary. In this scenario, where you've taken massive action, some of you have got way out of your comfort zone, you've potentially generated 405 leads that you've created and you've personally connected with. Your scripts, multiple touch points, all right? These people already know you. And 10 days in, you're like a warrior with this, seriously, because you've had to get uncomfortable to do it. And do you think 10 days in you couldn't scale this up and fine-tune it and just have it as one of those strategies that ticks away? What if it only put in 10 leads a day or 5 leads a day? 10 leads a day for many of you would be 10 more than what you're currently getting, right? 40 webinar attendees, potentially. If you've had touch people multiple times and you've got 40 of them on a webinar, you're going to get a high conversion here and you're going to get good at presenting. What else are you going to have? You've developed a scalable system that you can scale, rinse and repeat, and it's cheap. The most expensive component of this, once it's scaled up, is you moving to more quality data, getting more targeted lists. All right, but now you've got the infrastructure for something that you can scale. Test and tweak, with or without webinars. Right, I was tossing up about that. If you're good on the phone, you won't need the webinars. If you need the 3 points, the 3 touch points, maybe you will. I'd test it with or without and find out what's more efficient for you and what works best. Here's the real key to this. JV this process or form a team. Look around the room. Where's your team? Sitting in this room. There's a mixed skill set in here. There's a mixed skill set on all the social media sites. All of you that spend time in Facebook, those people that you're friends with have all got mixed skills. Right? What if you just posted a thing that says, hey, I've got this killer strategy. I'm already positioned for leverage. I want to do a revenue share. I need some people to come join me in the process. Do you think you wouldn't have people messaging you and saying, I'm comfortable on the phone. I'm comfortable with tech. I like doing webinars. Don't you think you could put a small team of people together because you guys are positioned to leverage the comp plan? They're probably not. Teach them this. That will be your next platinum sale. Okay, outsource to a VA for $400 a month or less. I was paying $258 an hour. Pretty expensive. And as a platinum member, this should create $10,000 in your pipeline. And all of you could do that over the course of the next 10 days. And where you take it from there is really up to you. Any questions? I'm out of time.